Hello, everyone. It is I, the Reverend Godfather, the main host and frontman for the Long Coat Mafia podcast. I, if the angle looks a little bit different or a little bit funny, it's because I'm using our new computer to record this instead of our cell phone. If you prefer me using my cell phone as a way to record instead of the laptop, please let me know and I'll change it up. I think I prefer the phone uh, in regards to it, uh, but I find this somewhat a little bit easier to snag and repost stuff. But what I want to rant about a little bit, as hinted on past few weeks on our podcast and our Twitter, is that I want to talk a little bit about Doctor Who. And uh, I'll just sum up and try to keep this as short form as possible because I want to do it a little bit more of a long form when we do our year in review or 2018 in review episode next year with our co-host Big Candy in the studio. But I just want to touch on a little bit of the things that have been going on as of late and to kind of summarize out there for those of you kind of living under a rock and not knowing exactly what's going on. But I think most of you who have been watching a lot of YouTube know what's going on. But for those of you who have not, let me summarize. First off, I haven't seen the whole, I think it's like already been like 10, 12 episodes. Length season. I did see the first premiere episode. I do like Jodie. In that episode, I do like, or I should say, I did like Jodie Whittaker's performance in regards to her playing the new Doctor. I found it very energetic. I liked her personality. It kind of reminded me of the David Tennant era. A little bit of David Tennant, a little bit of the one that came after him. But there was a new thing in regards to it, the changeover. I didn't have any gripes or have any gripes in regards to a female Doctor Who, as stated in the past. But come to find out over the coming weeks, and which kind of hit home over the past week or two, is that overall for the season, the ratings have been down. They spiked real high with the premiere and kind of not just gradually, and they've been tanking ever since. And though the BBC has stated that the ratings are not down, do not believe all the other reports. BuzzFeed, let them know ratings are not down. But a lot of folks dug through the data, did their due diligence, and said, you know what, the ratings are down. Um, but again, the BBC said, well, no, that was yeah. When in past earlier seasons in regards to this run of the Doctor, reference to Doctor Who, this run, the past couple of years since, I want to say the past 12 seasons or 11 seasons that we've had, the earlier seasons, uh, let me rephrase that. With the reboot, I won't say the reboot, reissuing of the Doctor Who, uh, up until recently, it's been about closer to 24 episodes per season, and it's recently that they've been doing uh, 10 episodes, and next year they're considering going even about the same 10 to 12. Chris Chibnall, who is the current showrunner, says, oh no, I don't want that many episodes. I want closer to 6. um, I think a lot of fans are kind of pissed off in regards to that they've they know what they've had in the past in regards to a 24 episode run or 22 episode run. Now they're getting 10, 12 episodes, and they don't like that. That's one reason why a lot of the viewers are leaving. Another reason, again, viewership might be down is because, from what I've heard, especially in this season, I can't verify. I've heard both sides saying that it's Chris Chibnall doing it. He's been fiddling around with it, and the other side is saying no, it's the BBC doing it. Is doing it. They want to check off boxes. Kind of doing the hey, we're woke, and we want to do diversity and all this, and it's that's what's hurting the show. And some people, again, saying it's Chipnell doing it. Others are saying it's the BBC. But they both sides are kind of. Since I haven't seen the complete season, I can't really comment on it. But if that's the case, I could agree with both sides in reference to the point that it's a sci-fi show. It should remain that. There should be an overall seasonal bad guy, not social justice, uh, because that's what a lot of people want. They do not want, a fat white straight guy telling them, "Hey, not this is not cool. This is this kind of sucks." But the thing is, from me digging a little bit into this, it's not just straight white fat neck bearded fucks like myself that are bitching about this. There are people of all races, creeds, nationalities complaining about this. Even male, female, and other all everybody's complaining about it. And again, I haven't heard the BBC saying, or the standard, outlets saying, hey, the reason why the ratings are down is the, straight white male bitching about it, when in reality it's not. But it's getting that close, it seems like, in my opinion. One of the rumors that I've been hearing as of late, or that's been spreading around YouTube and through several articles, is that Chris Chibnall might be leaving after next season. Uh, and if that's the case, as well as Jodie Whittaker, because even though this is her first season run, she wants to do one more season, and if Chris leaves, she's going to follow behind because she likes working with Chris Chibnall, supposedly. Now, or to use my favorite word, allegedly. Now, but the thing is, some people, I heard one female commentator say, listen, that's even though you have a young child, then you shouldn't have taken a role that most, even though Chris Eccleston only lasted one season, while the other doctors that came after lasted several seasons, and she's only lasting two. Therefore, it's pitiful, and they used Lincoln's from Walking Dead as a reference. He's been on the show for over 8 years. I think this was his last season. In regards to him playing, the lead role, and she said that, look at him, he's leaving due to family and everything else. He's been on it for over 8 years, while Jodie's been on it for 2 years. You can't really, with this type of role, you have to be on. You can't really be a part of something that's been this big of a mainstay for 2 years. That's bad. Not to mention you're the first female doctor. I think she went on to say that her being the first female doctor, you can't stay on for 2 seasons. You have to, be longer. You can't use the family as an excuse, even though it might be a valid one, and I could agree with that. But I've been hearing some reports that's coming in. I tried to find the article through Facebook because somebody brought it up, saying Jodie signed on for one more season. I don't know if that's season 12 or not. But the thing is with Facebook, like all Facebook articles, as soon as you go to click on it, or you click on something in regards to, you click on the wrong spot or tap on the wrong spot, it brings you someplace else, meaning that if it's a highlighted description in regards to it, meaning that it takes you to the Doctor Who page instead of the article, and you go back to find the article to click read the article, it refreshes everything, and when you try to find it, well, it's gone. And it could have been something from yesterday, last week, last month, last year. You don't know. So it's kind of, I tried to find that article again, and Facebook was pretty much like, what article? We don't know what you're talking about. So I don't have that research on hand to see if she signed back on for season 14 or not, or what's going on. But in regards to the rumors of Chibnall and Jody leaving next after season 12 or next season, which might come into play, I think October 2019. Uh, well, the thing is, the BBC has been tight-lipped in regards to it, so we don't know if the rumors can be true. There could be more information coming out closer to San Diego Comic Con next year. So, and that also being said, who knows what's going on? If, like I said a couple of months ago, in regards to this first announcement, that if Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker are the ones that kind of, whether it's the hand of BBC or not, um, they'll be the ones that will be blamed for taking down Doctor Who and canceling it forever. So, more discussion on it during our uh, episode when we record with Big Candy. So, hopefully, more things will come out in regards to it. Like I said, hopefully the BBC comments on it. It's stupid. I wish I was riding the wave to get more views for our YouTube channel and more uh, points in regards to viewership and subscribers. But I know I'm a little bit late to the game. I had a big 40-minute rant at one point, 40-minute rant, and I want to keep it down to about 15 minutes for all of you. So a longer rant might actually happen in our podcast. Links to it down below. And while you're here, please hit that subscribe button and help out the channel. It'll help us grow and help us change the name so we don't have that bunch of gibberish above. So, as once I know, hopefully by the time that episode comes out, I'll have further details and me and Big Candy will go into more of a deep dive in regards to shows that kind of do checking off that social justice check mark and how they kind of damage shows and viewership and that. But as I said earlier this year, that if it happens again, viewership will go down, so forth and so on. I personally, to have a kind of a neutral ordeal, I think this might be the year they wanted to do that because first year in, got to get that work the kinks out. I'm not defending them. Even though I'm being a little bit of a devil's advocate in regards to everything. Hopefully next year it would be more Daleks and so forth and so on, and an overall season arcing. And not to mention, I must say this: in the early days of Doctor Who, the season runs were between 6 and 8 episodes, or 6 to 10 episodes. That's why when you see a Tom Baker run of one of the Tom Baker Doctor Who episodes, it's like a 2-hour block, but each one is kind of blocked down, or you could tell when that show ended, and they just edited it all together. Not to mention the sci-fi show over in London, the BBC tends to air. That's kind of a hit here as well, is Red Dwarf. Their episode run is between 6 to 10. So you could see that there is that possibility, but when the fans get used to a bigger meal with 24 episodes, and all of a sudden they're cut down to 15, then to 10, now down to 6. Us fat, spoiled white people and the spoiled fans are the ones that kind of suffer, and we rant and we rave and we come to YouTube and we complain, yet the BBC tends to blame somebody else when it's not really somebody else. In that case, I'm going to end it here and see you guys in another kind of a mini rant episode, and try to cover things a little bit more. And for those of you wondering, the reason why I'm tending to do this is to kind of, one, remind myself to cover this topic at a later date on our podcast, and two, kind of supplement all the panel episodes that we've kind of been releasing on our podcast through Podbean, and that's another reason. So it's kind of a win-win for all of you. So, again, take care. I'm the Reverend Godfather. Listen to our podcast. I'm out. Take care.